Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media with Faith. Fucking hell. I'm alone today. I'll be discussing the second open beta test for Monster Hunter Wilds. Fucking hell. My vocal cords are having a rough time today. Anyways, yeah, it's been a while. Blah blah blah. Fucking another break. Whatever. Uh, Monster Hunter Wilds is coming out in a few hours from when I'm talking about this, so I don't know if anyone will even fucking watch this episode. Consider it a time capsule, I guess, where I am. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know. But like, yeah. I'll be talking about the beta. Both betas technically, since I played both. We did this previously with the Sunbreak demo. I talked about the Sunbreak demo when it was coming out in 2022, so fucking years ago, pretty much. And I'm gonna try to make it an expedition. I didn't talk about the first beta, because I didn't want to. I didn't know. I didn't have the time. I really did want to do an episode on the beta, the first beta, but I didn't. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because now I can talk about the second beta. This episode was supposed to come out a week ago, but it didn't. And here we are, maybe on the day of release, maybe a few hours before release. Who knows? I don't fucking know. But yeah, we are here talking about this fucking beta. So for me to release this before, I'm gonna have to talk about shit really quickly. Cause I don't know. I'll try to take my time with this episode, but I kind of do want to get it up before the 3 hour mark. Give me a second. I think we are 3 hours before release, or something like that. At least here, where I'm located, it's around three. It's 2 hours and 34 minutes. That doesn't feel any fucking real. But yeah, it is currently 2 hours and 34 minutes. I'm gonna keep that timer up there because I kind of want to look at it. It's beautiful, kind of Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah, that's fucking wild to really think. And just kind of before we begin, even I'm gonna reflect kind of on like what has led up to this point, because there's been a lot of shit up to this point. We have covered, I think, pretty much every single appearance of this game, except for two, which we're gonna get into in March and April, which are uh, they're the Monster Hunter World Showcase, which fucking I won't. I'll just kind of give them up. When that episode comes out, it'll probably get more of an update of what I've been doing, and the state of play, which will also probably just be an update, because I think by then the first title update should have come out, so it'll be more of an update of how that's going and what my thoughts are on that. We will eventually do an episode on the game. I think I'll definitely do an episode on Wilds at some point in the future. It'll only be on base Wilds and not any of the any of the title updates. And I know that I know that some people. I know that if you watched any of the, not older, but definitely the episodes I did for Rise and Sunbreak, you would have known that I tagged at the end a tier list of all the monsters, because who doesn't fucking do that, right? But what the fuck? No. Apparently got Nitro for free. That ain't right. No, I don't. I don't want nitro. Ugh, fuck. Anyways, yeah, we did them for some break. Everyone the fucking mothers does just for the monsters. Point is, I'm not gonna do it when some break when wilds when we get to the wilds episode. I'm not gonna do a fucking tier list. The reason for that is because I want to wait until all the title updates are done, done and dusted. We're done with all the title updates, and by that point, after I am done with after all the title updates are done, that's when I'll do the official Monster Hunter Wilds tier list and wherever the fuck, and then all that shit happens. Yeah, that's so just pointing it out there. I will make a point of the monsters. That's definitely something I will do. I will definitely make a point to of the monsters. I will definitely talk about the monsters that were uh in the game on launch, but I won't be talking about any of the. I won't be talking about. I won't do a tier list. I won't do a tier list until we are done with the title updates. After they're all done. After all the title updates are done, that is when I will do the tier list and officially rank the base game of Wilds. And then like I guess I guess at some point the expansion will get announced this year or next year or whatever the fuck. But yeah. Uh cool. Anyways, it's been a long road. It doesn't feel real that the game is coming out in 2 hours and a half, at least from when I'm recording this. I know for a lot of people, for a lot of the world, it's already out, and they're playing it and all that. Not for me. I have to fucking wait, even if it's just a little bit. I mean, longest 2 hours of my goddamn life. But, yeah. I have a bunch of Marvel Rivals dailies I have to do. So, I don't know how long it's gonna take. I'll definitely do them while this episode is like going about and doing stuff. But rendering and all that. But yeah, I realize now that I am kind of behind on Marvel Rivals stuff. Between like these episodes and all that, I've taken quite a bit of a not even a bit of hit, but definitely gone a bit too far into Rivals and grinded out and trying to grind out the battle pass as quickly as possible. And yeah, no, I am behind. I'm not behind on dailies, but I am behind on the seasonal event, which I do want to get over with as soon as possible, even before Wilds comes out, because I don't think I'll have the willpower to do all that. Or maybe I will fucking torture myself until and like, oh, I will not play Wilds until I finish all the missions. Maybe I'll torture myself. I don't know. Not likely, but maybe I will. But yeah, it's been a long road since the 2023 Game Awards. This game, we've been waiting for it for a very long time. It seems like one of the like it's gonna be the best Monster Hunter game that has ever come out. And yeah, so this is it. This is like the final stretch, really. So let's talk about the beta. Let's talk about our first impressions of the game proper in our hands. And honestly, this is the best you're gonna get to fucking episode until like maybe May or something. This is probably gonna be the only time you're gonna get an actual fucking episode. Is is me talking about it and talk about, I guess, like our first hand experience of it. So yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about it. Fucking spending 10 minutes talking about fucking nothing. But yeah, just reflecting on it on our first impression of the game. Starting out with the graphics and performance. Now, I can't speak for PC. I can't speak for PC players, but I can definitely tell their tales. The PC versions of the game, at least in the beta, weren't the best. People were having issues with the rendering, where monsters came up polygon. Uh, there was a lot of frame rate drops. The graphics look great. Monster Hunter Wilds looks amazing graphically. Graphically looks great. There's some little bits and pieces of uh of kind of horseshit, because I the Chadakabra models like got fucking what 500k polygons or something, like 100k or so, like polygons. I know, very big distinction, but yeah, it's over 100k polygons. What the fuck? Decimate polygons, for God's sake. But the good thing about all this is that at least Wilds, at least they learned to compress their files, because Wilds is at a good 53 megabytes, fucking gigabytes. They've at least learned to compress their files, but they need to decimate their fucking models, because I'm for sure that if they decimated their models to a it decimated the body count, the polygon count of the models, then I think the game would probably be less hefty, but that's not how it is. Anyways, even on the platform I'm playing on, PlayStation, I felt like the game wasn't running at the best, and sometimes it looked kind of like bland, or just kind of grainy. Not grainy. That was more the environment. That's not like the actual game looking grainy. But it just kind of looked dull. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. It looked dull, especially during the fallow, which makes sense. The fallow is not supposed to be the fucking prettiest thing out there. It's supposed to be the intermediate point between the plenty and the inclemency. So the you know the fallow being kind of dull makes sense, and I feel like I find it fine. I don't have much problem with that. I know a lot of people do have a problem with that, and that's why I'm mentioning it. But I don't have a real big issue with the season that's supposed to be dull and kind of not pretty being dull and not pretty. That's the whole fucking point. Now it just doesn't mean that it looks good, because it looks that way, but it's because it's meant to look that way. So yeah, like I don't know. I don't mind the ugly look, really. It's meant to look that way, and it's not really hurting anybody. So who cares? But I definitely do care about is the performance, and the performance on PC is not very good. I understand. I know that, but I can only really speak from my experience. PS5 also has its dips in frame rate, and that was because of motion blur. Motion blur really fucked up the frame rate for some reason. So, like, the best way to put it was just to turn it off. Like, for example, when you went to the village, and you had a motion blur on, like the frame rate, the frame rate would drop to cataclysmic degrees. It was insane. The game's running fine at 16, and it drops like 40 in like the main base. Insane to see that happen in before your own fucking eyes. But yeah, like that happened. But that's like the only thing I really gotta say, because the plenty looks really good. The fallow, I think, looks really good. The only real problem is that this is only one locale, so we're only seeing one locale of all of them. Of all the fucking 4, really revealed until now 4. I've seen the leaks, so I know. So I maybe know every all the maps, and maybe there's more than four. But yeah, they're currently four revealed maps, and the game is fucking up by the point this episode comes out. I'm sure. So I'm trying to be hush hush about it when the game's already out, but whatever. Uh, Actually, let's talk about the fucking locale. Windward Plains. First locale ever shown. It's like a savanna, grassland, desert area. Cool concept. I felt like the maps weren't big enough. It's not as big as they were kind of shown to be in the trailers. Like when it first was in the when it first was within the map, I felt like it was really small for what it was shown as. Just the desert to me felt small, kind of. The grassland areas especially felt small to me. But I guess what they were going for, it's not a complete open world. It isn't. It's segmented, very segmented. It's not a complete open world. I guess I shouldn't have seen that coming, but yeah, it's not a complete open world. You can't go anywhere you want. It's again just like the main locales. What I thought they would do back then when it was first revealed, and like the first few trailers when we didn't really know anything. What I thought they would go in the direction was fully open world, Breath of the Wild style, or like any other open world style, and just have the locales be like different sections of the map that you could freely travel to, and something like not having any like load issues. But that's exactly not what happened. It's pretty much just the same thing, but it's the same thing as like it's like if all the world maps just kind of like were connected. And it's not bad, but I don't know. Like I felt like the map size was kind of underwhelming to me. Like it didn't feel as big as they could have made it. And maybe that's because there's a lot of cramped spaces, and obviously, it's not as big as I thought it would be because it's really not modeled in the way that I thought it was gonna be. So I can't really judge it for that. And I kind of get why it's not that big in the sense of the actual game proper. That's because we get 3 other maps that we have 3 other maps that go in that have to share the fucking space. That's not just one big map. So obviously they can't go in one big direction. But yeah, it's for me, looking at that, I was kind of underwhelmed about the size of the map and just kind of how small it was. And I thought that it was gonna be a lot more like Breath of the Wild. It's not. It really isn't. So yeah, that's really on me. That is really on me for thinking that way. But otherwise, I think the Windward Plains are a fine map to start with. It's interesting to have a desert to start with. Obviously, we don't usually have that. The only thing we have that's close to that is the ancestral steppe in Monster Hunter 4. But that's a steppe. It's not a desert. It's a grassland type area. Which I'm glad that we finally have a grassland map. It's something that's kind of hard to make, and I've seen a lot of people like say like the Windward Plains felt kind of empty. And sure, like yeah, it's mainly because it's a savanna grassland type thing. Like those are usually very flat and empty. So I understand it. And that's why like for some reason like there's a lot of those like places of the map are in the aren't part of the actual map. They're mostly just background elements. But I don't know. I'm glad that we finally get one of those one of these maps because we don't usually get them. Especially not as a starting map. It's a very interesting starting map, at least to me. What else? What else is there? But yeah, like I felt like the fauna on the map was pretty cool. There's not a lot of it, and there's not a lot of there's not a lot of there isn't a lot of small monsters. At least like I mean, there's the Baunos, the Wing Drake, the two Everboars, Dalthanon and Karatnoth, the Bug Bulakshi, and the Raptor Talioth. That's really it. The rest is endemic life. That's I think more than what like the world maps have. Definitely less than the Rise, but more than Worlds. And honestly, I mean that's fine. I think it's fine. I'm just weirded out by not having returning monsters. Like I think this mapper has a lot of stuff that's like that's very Sandy Plains esque from Try and Rise. So stuff like the Jaggies I mean Jaggies not because there's Talioth here, but fucking what are they called? Renoplos Daleks. Daleks are really cool to see. I think Daleks would have really fit here. Renoplos Daleks. Is there anything else I'm missing? I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah, like those like I'm not fucking. I was about to say Cephalos. I'm like I was about to say Cephalos, and I'm like, how about fuck no? How about we don't bring back Cephadrome, please? Unless they revamp Cephadrome into an actual good fight, please never bring that motherfucker back. Let him rot in GU jail, please. Just fucking let that bitch die. Just let it go. I know he's an MH1 monster, and for some like ironically they don't give two fucks about the MH1 monsters. Ironically, these guys do not give a single shit about and I mean the MH team don't really give a fuck about Monster Hunter 1 monsters. Admittedly, 5th gen and 6th gen from the looks of it are bringing back quite a bit of them. We have Yankook in this game, Gypsaros, Gravios, the Raft, obviously. So there's a lot of there's a lot of old gen stuff in here too. Like for example, we have Kongolala and Blinganga coming back from Gen 2. Like there's a lot of interesting monsters here, and a lot of them that weren't in 5th gen. Even then, 5th gen brought up a good bit of them. Yangaruga, I mean Diablos and Rathlos and Rathian were always in the fucking games. So like Yangaruga, Basarios, Kezu, those were all in there. Yeah, it's not like they don't really pay attention to them all that much. It's just that they don't bring him back. Like the drones and Karen too. Actually, Karen, yeah, and Fatalis. There's a bit of that they do pay attention to, but it's like they don't really pay attention to all of the MH1 monsters because they never fucking they never do. It mono blows. Never as fucking been getting shafted for a really good good while. Gravios didn't get out in Rise. Basarios isn't in Wilds for some stupid reason. He's not in Wilds. Brother, what the fuck? Like, I understand not bringing in Gravios for Rise. I don't think it would have fit the gameplay, but Basar is not in Wild. Are you kidding me? When Gravios is right there. So you fucking prove that you could pull it off you could pull off Gravios, but instead of didn't do it. What the fuck? What? Why? Why? I don't know. So weird. Anyways, not about the monsters. Let's have with the monsters. There's only 6 monsters in the beta, at least in the open beta 2. We're gonna go in order of, I guess, them being revealed. I don't fucking know what this is. I guess order that I fought them in or some shit. Yeah, I think this is the order of when I fought them in. Chotacabra. So, Chotacabra is our starting monster. Interesting to have an amphibian non-great as our starting monster. We haven't had that since technically MH4. And I say technically because you can fight Great Jaggy before Celtus. So, yeah. You can fight Great Jaggy as an optional fight before Celtus. You unlock Celtus first, but you can skip over that and just go straight to Jaggy. Which is probably a better option. It's probably there because I could give you the best loot possible for like the lowest risk because it's fucking Great Jaggy. But yeah. Great Jaggy is there in in MH4 as like the first monster you can face. Not that you will, but it's definitely one of those that you can face. But yeah, Chotacabra is an interesting one. It's an amphibian, or at least for now, we're only amphibian in the game. Interesting. It's just an interesting fight. Not anything too peculiar, but it's an interesting monster to start off with. I thought this would be kind of like our Puke, our third monster, second monster around there. No, it's our first. And honestly, like I like it. I think this is the only one that we fight fully in story. Like this is the only fight we get from the story. So, and like we're using the base weapons and all that. This is the only one I can comfortably give a rating for now. And it really just goes in the C tier. I can't give it more than C tier. It's our starting monster. It's going to be okay. It's just going to be like an okay monster because they're not gonna go hog wild on it immediately, you know? Like, you're not gonna go absolutely fucking bonkers on the first monster. So I think that Chotacabra is just an okay fight. It's not terrible. It's not it's just there as your starting monster. It's not meant to be a challenge. It's not meant to be overtly good. It's meant to teach you the basics. I feel comfortable with giving Chotacabra a C tier. I think it's just there's not a lot of replayability here because I fought it a million fucking times in the beta. Okay, I fought this thing. I cooked it when the beta started in back in October, and I cooked it every fucking time that shit that it ever showed up. So I am probably gonna cook it in 2 hours when the game comes out. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's probably going down promptly. I don't think it's surviving me. but yeah, Chotacabra is a C tier. I'm only saying this right now. I'm only giving it this rating. I'm not gonna give the others the ratings because it's not fair. But yeah, Chotacabra is just there, but once you really, it's not even when you get the hang of it. It's just like when it fucking exists on the map, you just kind of obliterate it. I remember I was playing with friends on a VC once, and we decided to do kind of a funny uh uh, we took down two charter cards at the same time and just obliterated them. Just absolutely fucked them over. It's pretty good. You can really fuck over Charter Cobra if you just do that. It's the only time I've ever fought two monsters. I'm like, okay, good. Like, and that's another thing. I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it next monster. But yeah, I'm not gonna give the other ones any ratings. Thanks for now. Charter Cobra is the only one that I'm gonna give it any ratings because yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna update this tier list to have all of the WoW's monsters because I'm a bit of an asshole. I'm just gonna fucking update it. I'm just gonna fucking do this. I don't care. Because next time anyone wants to do a tier list, I made a tier list of all of the monsters. Am I gonna link it? Fuck no. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna update it here. I know I've looked at leaks. I know it's coming. I'm only being a bit vague because spoilers, I guess. But yeah, it's gonna be a hard 2 hours. Okay, so, anyways, let's so yeah, I'm comfortable with giving Charter Cobra tier a ranking because we fought it when it's supposed to be fought. That's how it's gonna be in the game when you fight it, and that's how I really see it. That's how I see it. So yeah, I think it's I think it's good. Not good. I think it's okay. Like it's an okay fight, but that's just because it's meant to be kind of bland and not really there. Like, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be the biggest fight out there. I guess. All right. You. Right here. Yep. Here. All right. Next up would be Doshaguma. Okay, Doshaguma. I don't like Doshaguma. I really don't like Doshaguma. It's not the worst fight in the world. It isn't. But it's not good either. It's not. It's not. The Shaguma kind of blows. The Shaguma really kind of blows. I don't like the Shaguma. Maybe it might just be me. It might honestly just be me. That I don't like the monster. It could happen. Maybe. Maybe I just don't like the monster all that much. But I'm not gonna fucking like. I don't know. What is it? I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna bash it too much because we're not because I didn't fight it with the equipment that's supposed, like, at least to the level it's supposed to be fought in. So I can't really say much about it. But I didn't like the fight. I really didn't. It felt kind of chaotic, and not in a good way. It's just like it's very bland, not in the way that Chadakabra is. It doesn't teach you anything. It's just not. I don't think Doshaguma is an actual good fight, and I really hate it in packs. In packs, it's awful because again, it's chaotic. It's not coordinated or anything. It's just there. It is really, really just there. I don't particularly like it. So yeah, no, I don't. I don't really like the Shaguma. I really don't. So yeah, um, there's that. Again, I'm not fucking going hard on them because it's a beta. It could get changed. I don't really like the pack mechanic all that much right now. I think it's kind of I for the Shaguma. I think it's really really bad because they don't coordinate they don't coordinate the moves. They don't. It's chaotic. It's not in the good not in the good sense of chaotic. So yeah, I don't I think that they did a not a good job with the Shaguma. I think the Shaguma is currently the weakest monster for me in this lineup. It had like a cool design and all that, but it fell flat. It really did fall flat. So yeah, I don't think it's very good. I don't like the Shaguma all that much. I'm fucking tripping, right? No. Okay. Whatever. Uh, Next up is Balahara. I think Balahara's pretty good. I like Balahara a lot. It's better than the Chakabra as a fight. I do quite like it. I like the spinning drill thing. Obviously, can't really say much of it since we're not fighting it when we're supposed to kind of fight it. We're one thing with very low equipment, so I mean I get it. And I think it's a very cool. I think it's a very cool fight. I really do like it. I like how you have different ways of dealing with it, and how like technically like, you can use like the small monsters. I'll talk about that more in gameplay. I think, but you can use the small monsters to you can use the small monsters to get the screaming pods and like scream at it. Not and I shows and like not scream at it, but like definitely definitely like use the pods against them. Like, you use the environment to your advantage and all that. That's what I mean. Honestly, I like it. I like Balahara. Right now the Shotgun must at a D. Again, this could change when the game comes out. That's why I'm not giving it a fair, like not a fair, but like a fixed rating. Only Charlie was getting one. Right now the Shotgun was at a D tier. He's just not very good. For your information, for everyone's information, I guess. Like for everyone's like benefit, I'll list the criteria. So S tier is like peak. It's like it's just really really it's one of the best fights in the game. A tier is a great fight, not as good as an S tier, but definitely one of the greater fights in the game. B tier is a good fight, has some bullshit, but otherwise it doesn't really like detract much from it. It's just a good fight. C is an okay fight, not the best, not the worst. D is a bad fight, not offensively bad, but definitely one of the weaker fights of the game. And F tier is a god awful fight. It's a fucking horrible fight. Never hunt it, never do anything with it. They just avoid it at all costs. You will not like to fight this monster. That's what the criteria is. So currently, the Struggle Monster D tier. It's not awful. It's definitely the worst right now, but it's not awful. It's not offensive like Narwhal the All Mother or Magma Almudron, which are the only F tiers I ever gave in like Rise Sunbreak. And Balahara's at a B tier. It's just a good fight. I feel like sometimes it's not great, it's not amazing, but it's just a good fight, and it's not a C tier worthy fight. I think right now it's a B tier. I think right now it's B tier. But yeah, I think Balahara's a pretty. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. I like it. I like its armor a lot too. It's something I really didn't mention, but I like the armor a lot. The Shotgun armor is a bit iffy. No wait. Like for like to now, I like Balahara's armor like the most. Then the Dragumas, then Characabra's. Like highest to lowest. That's right now. I don't like Characabra's armor as much as the Dragumas, and I like Balahara's armor more than all of them, which are the only ones in the beta and the only ones I'll talk about. Even though I've already seen Raidal's armor, and Gyptrosis, and Arvel's. But yeah, I mean, we kind of already saw Arvel's armor in that one trailer. That one looks the dope as fuck. Anyways, now to mention his name, Raidal. So, Raidal had a little bit of a, let's say, a task. So, Raidal has this interesting conundrum of being a flying wyvern. And flying wyverns are very saturated in Monster Hunter, especially after 5th gen. I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that Rise didn't introduce any flying wyverns aside from Espinas, which was from Frontier. I'm pretty sure they didn't introduce any of them, any more. I don't think it did, but World certainly did. World did have a lot of flying wyverns, even if it didn't introduce a lot of them. It did definitely have a lot of them. And while it is no exception, it has Raidal as a flying wyvern. So, what does that mean? It had a task of standing out among the sea of flying wyverns. And oh boy, did it deliver. This is, I think, one of the best fights in the entire series, and it's only the beta. Yeah, that's how good Raidal is. Its theme is so cool. I haven't heard the music yet, but I think the Women Plays music it's good. I like the medium monster theme on point not two on 1.25 at speed. Very good on that speed. Raidal's team is actually golden. Like, it's really, really good. I love his theme. I love his fight. It's his fight. I think I've said it before, but the best Monster Hunter fights in the series are the ones that feel like a dance between you and the monster. That's what. That's what the best fights in the game are. What the fuck? The reason Monday I eventually keep logged to prevent edits. I'm looking here just to find out if they did anything. So weird. Anyway, okay. Oh yeah, Raidal was really, really good. I love Raidal. Like as a like again, like it's a dance. With Sword and Shield, it's an absolute golden experience. It's really, really good. You guys, if you haven't fought Raidal with Sword and Shield yet, fight Raidal with Sword and Shield. It feels so good. When we get to when the beta comes out, I think the weapons that I'm gonna mainly are gonna be Gunlance and Bow. I'm not good with Bow, so I might actually make it Gunlance, Sword and Shield, which is a bit of a weird lineup, but I'll make it work, I guess. I like Raidal with Sword and Shield too much to not do that, so I might do Gunlance, Sword and Shield, honestly. That seems like my my lineup, because I kind of want to retire the longsword. I really do. I want to retire the longsword. But yeah, I'm not a dirty longsword player anymore. Although I do kind of want to, I do want to practice more with the charge blade. But yeah, I decided not to go with bow. I felt like that's not one of the games, but I feel like in beta 2 specifically, bow felt kind of weird. So I don't know. I'll probably not go with bow. Maybe I'll go with bow. Maybe I'll go my original plan of Gunland's bow. But I don't know. But yeah, Raidao just absolutely one of the best fights in the goddamn series, and we haven't even gotten to the full fight yet. Goddamn, it's really good. Goddamn, it is. Just the absolute beautiful fight. I love the sound design of the monster. It's just really good. It's just a really good fight. Right now, Raidao's an S tier. It really is. Alright, so that would be all the monsters for the first beta, and they didn't really change for the second beta. Nothing really changed about them for the second beta. Although we did get two more monsters in the second beta test, so we'll talk about them right now. First up is our first returning monster that we've been able to fight in the game proper, and also one that we haven't seen since Generations Ultimate from 2017, 8 years ago. Gypsuros. I named each one monster. The original Puke, Gypsuros kinda sucked in at least before 6th gen. Gypsuros was not a very good monster. It really wasn't. That's mainly just kind of jank with the. That was just kind of jank. That he had from that he had from Gen 1 onwards, where they really didn't change much from first gen to 4th gen, at least gameplay wise. So Gypsuros didn't really change all that much gameplay wise. On 3DS, he's god awful. God fucking damn it! I hate that fight in 4. And our Gypsuros just kind of fucking sucks in at least before this game. So yeah, what happened, right? Like, why? So really, why bring back Gypsuros when Puke is right there? A much better fight. Not anymore. Not anymore. Gypsuros is an actual good fight. Surprisingly, he's a good fight. Surprisingly, I like Gypsuros. They made Capcom, the fucking Mad Lads, made me like Gypsuros. I don't get it. I don't understand this, right? Like, fucking how? How did they manage this? It's such a weird it's such a weird thing to fathom. The fact that take 30k damage, fucking hell. Look at the Marvel Rivals challenges. Win one match is fucking easy. I think I'll just do what does it do? Fuck. That's fine. I'll do Duelist, I guess. Startled is fine, I guess. Yeah, this is good. This is fine. We're fine. Anyways, back to Monster Hunter. Gypsuros is good. He's easily a B tier. I like the changes they made. It's not as bullshit as it was in the early games. That's mainly because Gypsuros suffered from the games being very clunky and janky back then, and now those are a lot more fluid. Gypsters can really shine. They gave him new moves that use his tail a lot more. You know, Gypsters got a major touch up this generation. I really like Gypsters. I not really like Gypsters, but I think he's a good fight now. He still has some of his bullshit. Gonna be for real. Like, he still has some of his bullshit. But I think he's great, a good fight overall. We'll see how it is in the main game. Also, weird he's in the desert, but whatever. So yeah, I think Gypsos is a good fight. And next up is Arkveld, and I'll talk about this when I eventually do my episode on World. But flagships and I don't have the best reputation aside from like Malzado. They've never gotten to S tier. Magnamalo is one of my least favorite flagships. I think Magnamalo kind of fucking blows. I never ever got the hype for Negigante. I tried to make myself trying to make myself like him. Didn't work. Didn't care. I think he's a good fight, but it's no. There's better fights in Iceborne and World than Nergigante. Like Orokaran or like Anjanath. Like they're just better fights overall. So Arkveld had to do a lot to impress me. And he impressed me. Arkveld is really good. Arkveld is an easy S tier monster. I didn't beat him. I did beat him once when we captured him. I got him to Skull twice in like the last day to the beta. I got him to Skull twice. But I never beat him. Never slayed him. If I was given like maybe 2 more minutes, I could have done it. But no, just didn't happen. The timer betrayed me. So, but when I get to that motherfucker, he's going down. And obviously, he's tough because we don't have the proper equipment to handle Arkveld right now. So he's like 2-shotting people, 1-shotting people. So it makes sense that we're not at that level yet. So yeah, I think I think Arkveld is a really good fight. Amazing fight. I love all the like moves that it does. I love the different ways you can counter it. With like the focus mode and all that. Yeah, no, I think Arkveld is just an amazing fight overall. And one of the better fights that Monster Hunter's produced, and one of the best flagships out there, really. So yeah, not much to say there. Again, we haven't faced Arkveld in like the time that we're supposed to face him. So I'm not gonna give him a full concrete rating. But if he's an S tier fight, when we're severely underpowered, then he's probably gonna stay there for when I get to him. Who knows? Anyways, let's get into what builds this game, which is the gameplay. So how does the gameplay feel? Really good. I feel like I'm only gonna talk about some of the weapons. Long sword, sword and shield, gun lance. Those are the ones I'm mainly gonna talk about. Gun lance feels really good. Definitely beating it. Didn't get to play a lot of bow. I really want to do. I want to get to play bow. That hasn't really happened to me. I need to really dedicate myself to bow to really enjoy it. But gun lance feels really cool. I learned to do the combo in like the last 2 days of the beta. The combo where I fired a lot of shells. That's really cool. Sword and shield feels heavier, feels slower, but I like it a lot. I like Sword and Shield. It doesn't feel overtly slow, but it feels really good anyways. And did I mention? If I mentioned Charge Blade, I'm fucking sorry. No, no Longsword. I said Longsword. Longsword feels like a longsword. There's not much of a difference. It it will technically do more damage because you get to upkeep the Fury Gauge a lot more. You do a lot more moves. It does a lot more damage. Like definitely. But it just kind of feels like Longsword was given more moves and more like ways to get out of situations yourself. But yeah, I like it. I like Longsword. There are some really baffling things you can do with the fucking weapon. To be honest, I have a clip of it somewhere, but I was using focus mode with the longsword. Focus strike, and the shotgun just kind of fucking ran away. Anime sword fight that shit, and that Doshogun fell to the fucking floor. Uh, just it's squirming. Like I toppled that thing. It's so anime. I want to deviate my. I want like a kind of get away from that because yeah, but that sometimes a fight is a long sword fight. I think sometimes it's necessary. Definitely. And I learned the hard way. Radau's not one of them. But yeah, you can probably beat Radau over on Lance. I'm gonna try. But I'll never give up Radau with Sword and Shield. It's an absolute masterpiece of a fight, really. But yeah. Anyways, gameplay. And anything. Oh, focus strike, focus. I like focus. I like wounding a lot. I think it's a vast improvement over tenderization that we had in World. In World, it felt, or at least Iceborne, it felt really forced on people. But in here, it's not. You get it naturally. Like I enjoy that a lot about this new system, and like the focus mode isn't completely intrusive. It's to help you as a player. I didn't find myself using it a lot instead of aside from just focus strikes and kind of repositioning myself kind of slightly if I want to get a little bit more damage off. So yeah, I don't use it all that much, but I can see why people would use it. And yeah, no, I found myself really enjoying it. There's some other parts of the gameplay that I feel like maybe that are I think well handled. For example, I never got the fucking sacred like insta dodge out like the recovery from the sacred off. Never fucking worked for me. I don't know how you. I know you call it sacred, but that never works for me. Palico heals in like once in a fucking blue moon. that bitch was nothing. What else is there? Yeah, no. Just overall, I really enjoyed the weapons. I really enjoyed the gameplay here. I think it's very smooth. Another complaint. Hold on. It is not a complaint, but definitely prop. It doesn't feel like World. World gameplay is I think the worst in the series, by far. Because okay, to explain myself. Yes, I've played 3U. Yes, I've played fucking. I've played 4. I've played all. I've played the 3DS games, and they are better than World in gameplay. World is clunky in the worst ways. The older games are clunky / janky in good ways. Let me explain. Because in the old games, I'll do an episode on some of the old games that I have, definitely. But I'll talk about it here. In the old games, the jank felt not intentional, but it had its purpose. and it had its balancing. You were janky, sure, but the monster was too. So you had that fairness factor. But in World, you're janky, the monster isn't. The monster is at a complete advantage. And that's what makes the world fight, for at least for me, feel like the worst ones, because you're not meant to be on equal footing, but it feels like you're at an unfair disadvantage in World. In Rise, that was remedied. A bit too much. Now you're faster, and the monsters are slower. But even then, the monsters there can counter you pretty hard. So that's not my biggest complaint, but definitely a complaint that some people could have about Rise. And now Wilds, you are on par with the monster. It's completely based on your skill, and I feel like that's a lot better. I like that we're more faster here. I like all the changes they've made to it all. I like that you don't depend on the sacred all that much. In Rise, where this whole system with like partners and all that kind of started, you could just jump on your Palamute and just heal, sharpen, all that shit. With the sacred, you can too, but since you can't recover out of it immediately, it's not all that much, and also the controls are kind of worse than the Palamute. So having it so having it be a little less so having the sacred be a little less reliable, I think it's a good change, because you're not depending on it too much. I never did. I only really called it in to sharpen. But yeah, also kind of, I guess, gameplay. I hate that the sacred is tied to every single directional input or on the D-pad. I hate that the sacred is your entire D-pad. I'm sorry for it to be kind of a weird complaint, but your sacred is like on your D-pad 24/7. You can't change that shit, to my knowledge. So you could be pressing one of like the buttons on it, and it's the same thing for cost your sacred, but it's just a completely different thing. Sometimes you will confuse yourself, and you do one thing, and you call it sacred to have done one thing, and then you press the wrong fucking button, and you've already you did a task. You put an input that you didn't mean to put. So now you're fucked. That's time wasted. I don't like that it's all on directional on the D-pad. That's so stupid. God, that's like one of the bad parts about Sacred. It's not well constructed. Really isn't. But yeah, that's like my only complaint about the Sacred, really. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's absolute awful. I don't think it's awful. It's an awful mechanic, really. But yeah. So really up for gameplay right now. I can't really think of much aside from all of that. Pop up. I didn't know you can make pop up camps with like very late into the beta. I think they're cool. I think they're cool. Cool addition. The cooking is really OP. I liked a little tip in the beta. There's this really OP meal called meat honey cheese, kunafa cheese. I made it. It gives pretty good skills. If it works like it worked in the beta, if cooking worked in the full game like it does in the beta, and like everything transfers over, not progress, definitely like skills and all that shit. That combo is really good. I really do recommend meat, kunafa cheese, and honey. But yeah, let's talk about the potential for the game. I know the game's already out, but I mean we're an hour or something, right? Says you're 9:30. Yeah. Goddamn. I can watch a movie. I could watch a movie in that time, but I'm not going to. Uh, yeah. There's a lot of potential here. This could be the best game. I know there's gonna be leaks. I said it, but I feel like this game was going to be very divisive, but it has potential. Just being positive. Uh, all the monsters aside from all the new monsters aside from the Shaguma look really cool. I really do enjoy. I really do want them. This could be another rise where there's only like a few bad monsters in here, a few rotten apples, but the roster is otherwise great. In quality, of course. They could revamp a lot of the old monsters like Gypstros to make them feel better and a lot more can keep up with the new monsters, because I know that's a thing that the Monster Hunter team kind of struggles with. That's why they don't really. That's why they didn't bring. That's why we haven't seen. That's why they don't bring back all like the big monsters all that much, and why they probably use kind of a lot of them, because it's easier to do that. Yeah, this game does bring a lot of potential for the franchise. Again, like expanding the environments with making them bigger and feel a lot more full. Like this game has a lot of potential, and not just for itself, but for the franchise as a whole. So I really do hope that Wilds opens doors that we didn't previously have opened for the franchise. So yeah, that's really about it. What did you guys think about the second beta test for Monster Hunter Wilds? Leave in the comments below, or any other discussion you have about Monster Hunter Wilds. Leave in the comments below. This will be kind of like the spot to talk about Wilds, at least on this channel for a bit. Join the channel. If you like this episode, I don't like doing this, but apparently it's good for the algorithm and good for viewership. Like, comment, and subscribe if you liked it. Share it around if you think it's worth a share. And yeah, no. All our other if you want to visit if you want to see all my other of my endeavors, all of our socials are in the description. And yeah, no, that's about it. See ya.